I call on Tamatha Paul.
Kia ora, Mr. Speaker. Thank you for allowing us to get up and support this bill, which I understand has support across the House, and I really just want to reaffirm the statements that we made last week on the second reading of this bill, to say that, yep, the Greens support this bill, and we think the key thing about, the key benefit from this bill is that it will allow people who have been victims of harm to be able to observe proceedings from a space that makes them feel safe, whether that's at home or with their family or with their friends, or anywhere that allows them to be safe and to prevent that physical contact between themselves and the perpetrators of that of the abuse. We noted that this might improve the court backlogs that are currently being experienced by the courts. Repeating a fact that I made last week, that when I looked into the court backlogs, I found that 142,000 court events have been delayed because of the pandemic since March 2020, and that's 142,000 court events out of 2.4 million appearances for sentencings, bail applications and pre-trial hearings. And when I looked into the impact, the psychological impact on those backlogs for people who have been harmed and are awaiting their time in court, I found this quote from a survivor of sexual violence, Rosie Veldkamp, who said, "My mental health was getting worse. I was just always upset and honestly felt like it was never going to happen." And I know that waiting for the trial can be quite psychologically harmful for people who have been victims. There's not a whole lot more to add about this bill. I think it's pretty straightforward. I guess the only thing we wanted to raise too is that, yep, this bill presents benefits for victims who are participating in the justice system and in the courts, and there have been many recommendations about other ways that we can improve our courtrooms to make them less traumatising, less triggering for people who have experienced harm. Some other suggestions that have been made to have a trauma-informed approach to courtrooms include lowering the judge's bench to not have it towering over survivors, well-lit car parks, warm, welcoming artwork, making sure that there are safe, blocked-off waiting areas for survivors, as well as having secure entrances and exit rooms to, exits to courtrooms. And some survivors have even called on the courts to implement totally separate facilities for victims in the courthouse to keep them away from perpetrators. So, yeah, there isn't a whole lot more to add to this bill, except to say it's great that we can have a moment of unity, and we support the bill, and kia ora koutou katoa.